Hey everybody, thought I'd finally do a little video showing off some of my peppers. It's been long overdue. My pepper growing season started really early this year, and life got in the way, and so I ended up with a whole bunch of little tiny plants. Um, got all kinds of cool varieties. We got Death Spiral from Jim Duffy and Triple X. I think one of these even has some peppers on it. Little tiny ones. Or, I don't know. I can't see it in the phone here. There it is. It's not going to want to focus on it. They're kind of cool looking. That's the Triple X. Got a ton. These were all in cell packs up until probably 2 weeks ago. And they were all about that big, even though I started them back in January. Most of them have done really good since I put them in these 4-inch pots or 3-inch pots. I don't know what size these are. I went to my local hydro store and I bought 100 of them with the 10-20 trays, and I've been watering them with Hydro Newts. I'm trying Master Blend this year. Everybody seems to like that stuff. I think it does okay, but I kind of like General Hydroponics better. Take a scoop of it, put it in a gallon of water, and boom, you're done. Instead of all the mixing, but whatever. So this is my little greenhouse that I took the plastic off of because it was getting like 130 degrees in here during the day. And I never planted my tomatoes, so I got a ton of tomatoes. All those tomatoes down there volunteered in that little flower planter. I grew a bunch in here last year hydroponically, and the ones that I didn't pick seeded themselves. So that purple shoulder tomato there is a volunteer in my overwintered Tabasco plant that's in that 5-gallon self-watering bucket. Those are my hatch chilies. This is a cool plant called a Naranjia or something like that. My friend Vanessa gave it to me. I'm not really sure what kind of fruit it gets, but it's fruity, I guess. A couple of cool little eggplants going in here. Look at this one. It's kind of neat. And then this one is kind of neat. I don't really like eggplant, but they're kind of fun to grow. Here is a propagated RRC 420 that I overwintered in my aeroponic cloner, and then I planted it out here because it got so big and crazy, and now it's taken off. I pruned it and it's doing really well. There is that Primo X that Dave at Grown at Home in West Virginia tried out and said it was crazy hot. That one came from Jim Duffy from one of his plant specials. That is a Big Black Mama from seeds I got from Troy Primo, and it's finally got a few flowers on it. That one back there is a Purple Ghost, also from Jim Duffy. Purple Ghost Scorpion, also from Jim Duffy. This was a bag of, or a little packet of mixed seeds, all that whole tray, and I just planted them all in there because they were unidentified. I do see a Sugar Rush Peach. I think the rest of them are like space chilies or something. And then there's a couple of probably chocolate Scotch bonnet down there. I know that was in the mix, but most of the Chinense varieties that were in that, I let this dry out and I pretty much all died. The Bacatums and the Annuums were the only ones that seemed to survive. Here's a whole nother, I think there's 2 trays actually down there. These ones took off. I gotta get them into bigger pots. Most of those are 7 pots. bunch of different habanero varieties, but they are all loving being out in the greenhouse. They were in the garage, really stunted looking, and you can see they've really shot up. And I've been pouring that master blend in there, letting them soak in it, and they seem to be enjoying it. These ones were all in my garage. They were not looking super good, except for this one. This one is a Big Mustard Mama from Troy Primo. It's one of my extras. But like all these, I thought were gonna die, but they are coming back. Here's a basil that volunteered in this cup. Here is Scotch Brains, which I was growing for the Pepper Lovers contest and never put it in a bigger pot. That one's from Janie Yanger in Guam. And then this Scotch Brains here is from Justin White. And I'm pretty sure I saw, yeah, there's a little tiny beginning of a pod. Oh yeah, there's one there too. It is looking a little more gnarly than the one from Jeannie, but they're still really small. I don't know how big you're going to get in these pots. Another Death Spiral with a pepper on it. The ants seem to be hurting aphids. So I'm going to have to come in here and knock it down with the Pyganic here pretty quick, because I don't like aphids. And there's a fish pepper, just pretty cool. All these ones in these 1 gallon pots came from my friend Vanessa. She grows a lot of different peppers, and we trade back and forth a lot. Some of them I don't even know what to expect. This is called Floor, but it's a Bishop's Crown. There's one that's about ripe on there. That tie tape, I broke that branch a few weeks ago and I was kind of bummed, so I tied it back together and it grafted itself back. Here is a chocolate Scotch bonnet, one of my very few super hots that have set. This is a pretty neat pepper in here. This is called that one right there. It's called Diablo Grande, and I have one somewhere that's huge. It's probably 6-7 inches long. Looks like a gigantic cayenne pepper. But they taste good. They're kind of sweet. Tiny bit of heat, maybe jalapeno, maybe heat. There's a whole bunch of lemon drops that Tom over at Red Toast TV sent me. I won a seed giveaway and finally getting around to a shout out to him. There's another one, and I'm thinking he told me those seeds came from Dave over at Grown Up Home in West Virginia, and they are doing fantastic. There's a Manzano Rocoto that my friend Vanessa gave me seeds for, that she bought the actual peppers from a guy at over on the coast somewhere. There's some Tepins. Up here, these are all my little plant experiments from last year. That is a Vitex that I cloned in my cloner. A bunch of fruitless mulberries that I cloned in my cloner. Trees. I'm going to plant them in the back with my chickens for shade. There's a blackberry, same thing, I cloned it. And not really cloning, it's just propagating from cuttings. There's a bottle brush, which was kind of difficult, but I was surprised it worked. These are called Mother of Thousands. They're some type of calancho, a succulent. And if you break these little tiny, there's actually little plantlets that grow on it. And when I was over at my friend's house getting some peppers out of her greenhouse, she had some of these growing. And I just knocked a few of those into a pot, and they actually rooted into these 4 plants. And then my little sedums, I drop those in everything, and they propagate themselves. Dolomite Bieber. It was a bonus pack of seeds that Jim Duffy sent me, and I ordered a bunch of seeds from him. These are mostly bubble gums and 7 pots of various varieties. I thought I lost most of my Elysium Oxide Scotch bonnets, but I did end up with one. There's some brain strains. So, there's some black boots that I keep trying to kill. They keep hanging on. That one's even got a little pepper on it. Let's go look at some other stuff. Hold on a second. Okay, so was it last weekend? Maybe 2 weekends? I think it was last weekend. Maybe 2 weekends ago. I don't remember. But I don't know why it won't focus. There we go. I built this little hydroponic tote, which I have a whole stack of those. I buy them at Costco constantly because they're only like $8 each. So every time I go there, I get a couple. My wife gets mad at me. She says I have enough totes, but this was kind of the idea behind it. I watched all of Reb Toast TV's pepper updates and their live stream, and this is how Tom grows his peppers in his greenhouse. This one's got 2 air stones that go down in there. Focus. There's going in there and there. And what basically it's just a big deep water culture. See the roots starting to drop down, but there's bubbles in there, and that is completely full of Master Blend. I figured why not? I'll give it a try. I have the totes, I have all these peppers. I'm slacking on getting them planted, so I tried it out and they were thriving in it. Let's see, I got a Aji Dulce, Big Black Mama, Jay's Peach Go Scorpion,